WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users.
This is
Soulful Inspiration.
It's your girl, Nikki Jones. This will be an hour to feed your soul with music and laughter, information and inspiration. You're listening to WVTC
Detroit.
All designed with you in mind. So sit back, relax, and get ready to join the conversation with me,
Nikki Jones.
Soulful.
Soulful Inspiration.
Inspirations. Yes, sir. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome to Soulful Inspirations. I am your girl, Nikki Jones. So glad to be here tonight. It is a wonderful Tuesday, and it was a little bit chilly, a little bit, gloomy, just a little bit, But however the case, we are here on tonight. We are here on WVTC. We are winning victories through Christ, and we are the two-time Stellar Award-winning radio station, Internet Radio Station of the Year. And we are so glad to have you join us tonight. It's going to be a wonderful show. I promise you, it's going to be a little bit heavy tonight. It's going to be a little bit heavy in terms of topic and what we're talking about, but I promise you that it is going to be worth your time. Listen, I need you to like and share and subscribe right now. Like, share, and subscribe. Did you hear me? Like, share, and subscribe tonight. We're going to be talking about a little bit heavy topic tonight, but I want you to know that there's some information for you to share. There's information for you to learn, and there's information for you to take with you and give to someone else. We're going to talk about something very deep tonight, and I need you to like, share, and subscribe, okay? So if you saw my post earlier, then you already know what we're going to be talking about. And we're going to be talking to a beautiful person who is sitting to my right and your left. Well, I'm not introducing her right now. Because why? Because we got to play some music first. That's what we're going to do. And I want you to know that Pastor D is not with us tonight. She will be back with us next week. And so we're going to continue tonight. And in her absence, yes, we're just going to have a good time. Yes, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to play some music right now. And I reach back. Yep, that's the word I just used, reach back, because this is one of the songs that has blessed me over the years. I'm telling you, it's been a blessing to me. And it's recorded by one of my favorite groups. It was written by one of my favorite writers, one of my favorite musicians. It was written by the one and only, the incomparable Michael Mendenhall. And it was recorded by one of my favorite groups, Derek Mylan and the Crew. The song is called You Encouraged Me. All right. And it's applicable for tonight. It's applicable for tonight. You encouraged me. Won't you take a listen? Won't you?
Just about had enough. On you I could depend. I am so glad you did not turn your back on me. You encouraged me to fight till the end. Told me I would win. You stayed by my side
Lord, you encouraged me to fight to the end. You told me I would win. You stayed by my side, wiped the tears when I cried, and said it would be all right. Listen, that's what the Lord does. That's what he does. That's what he tells other people to do for you. Did you know that? He uses people to encourage you, and he asks you to encourage yourself when you have to. So, you know, there's no reason that we should be going through this world alone in anything unless we just absolutely want to, because God always sends someone. And if you receive his encouragement, it'll bless your life. It'll bless your life twice. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I just love that song, and it encourages me every single time I hear it. So tonight, like I said before, we're going to talk about something that is very, very disturbing on a few levels, but it's something that we have to have. It's a conversation we have to have. And so I thought of no other person to have this conversation with than my sister from another mister. Her name, she is so beautiful, inside and out, I'm telling you. And she does some spiritually natural ministry, spiritual and natural ministry, in the way for women who are with child, women who are pregnant, women who are giving birth, women who are nursing a child. I want to introduce and present to this wonderful woman sitting to my right. Her name is Jennifer Day.
Why do you gotta do all that though?
Girl, because I'm telling you, me and my husband be talking about you and your husband.
Yeah, we love you.
Yes, we love you. And you're so beautiful. It's your spirit, you know, your spirit has always been peaceful. It's always been pleasant. It's always about ministry. And that's what I've gleaned from you in terms of who you are, just as a person beyond what you do for a living. And if people don't know, if you read my post today or yesterday rather, Jennifer is a birth doula. Yes.
You
so
got that.
How are you, first of all?
I'm good. I'm good.
I'll bring this mic a little bit closer to you.
It's been a lovely full day.
A lovely full day.
A lovely full day.
Your days can be very full and very long.
A lovely full day.
Yes.
All the babies have been being born.
Yes.
All the babies are coming.
Yes.
And it's just, it's fulfilling.
Yes.
And so just really grateful to be in this work. So yes, I am a doula.
Yes.
Not to be confused with something else. Sometimes there's confusion. We could talk about it between what's a midwife, what's a doula.
Yes.
But I serve as a doula and a lactation consultant.
Yes, ma'am.
Mentioned. So I definitely see it as marketplace ministry.
It is.
Like
it definitely is. It definitely is. So what made you get into this type of work? Like, what was your, how were you drawn to this?
Yeah. As I share with some folks who what's your why? Why do you do this? Why do you do what you do? It had everything to do with becoming a mother. Actually, it started way back when I had a friend. We were in high school together, and she was pregnant, and we're seniors in high school, and she experienced some things within her home and was going to be birthing by herself. And I was like, no, you can't be by yourself. What's that going to look like?
Yeah.
And so got to experience for the first time in my memory being in a birth and witnessing all the fullness of giving birth and what that looks like. And I like to say now, that was my first time working as a doula. I just didn't know that that's what it was.
Wow.
So fast forward all these years later, I didn't even have a doula with my 2 kids, but experiencing this was a lot and this shouldn't be all of what it is. There's got to be help. And then learning this is actually, especially in our culture, we give birth around other women.
Right.
Or we serve with our sisters or community members. So it's also very normal to experience that. So it kind of just became a calling that just fell upon me. Holy Spirit was like, this is what you're going to do. And I've not been mad about it, not once. Yeah.
I can tell this brings you joy. I can tell it brings you fulfillment. I can tell that it brings you a sense of purpose.
Yeah. I believe that you are birthing purpose into the earth when you are giving birth. So being able to support a mother also allows you to be a part of them birthing purpose into the earth. And so with that, it's just that it truly is fulfilling. Like you're serving in ministry as it relates to this child and what it is that they're going to do in their life. And it starts somewhere. And this is just where that beginning looks like for me and helping them in that way.
So,
Mhm.
okay, so help us understand what the difference is between a birth doula and a midwife.
Great question. Yes. A midwife is pretty much equivalent to an OB. It's just that they don't do cesarean sections.
Oh, wow.
Right. So
Okay.
a midwife, there are different kinds of midwives. There's a certified nurse midwife where they've gone to nursing school and then they take additional training to become a midwife. So a couple of extra years worth of schooling.
Okay.
And then there's a certified professional midwife where they've done a lot of training and they support families with birthing at home. So those are the two different kinds of midwives. And then I am blessed to serve alongside them, alongside obstetricians too, OBGYNs. So sometimes there's folks who are like, do I need a doula? Is the doula the same thing as a midwife? Do I need a midwife? Because I know I want a doula. No, you need both.
You need both.
Because the midwife is who is like your primary care provider when you are giving birth.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the difference.
Okay, so what do you do? What's your typical role like when you're serving, say, someone's water has broken and they call you and you come, and then what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, first off, not everybody's water breaks. And that's the indicator that they are giving birth. Sometimes baby, like it doesn't break until like they're pushing, or it doesn't happen until the baby's actually born and they're born in the sac.
Oh, wow.
That actually, so a lot of folks are like, okay, I'm going to know that I'm in labor because my water broke. I usually am sharing with them, it might not at all. That might not be a warning sign that birth is coming. But generally speaking, I start serving alongside families when they first become pregnant.
Oh, wow.
It starts way back then. And I believe that the birth is probably like 10% of us working together.
Wow.
The rest of it is like getting you prepared to have a successful, positive birthing experience.
Okay.
So that's inclusive of providing emotional support, physical support. So supporting with like stretching and movement and let's go for a walk. I go hiking with a lot of clients.
Wow.
We find ourselves at Heritage Park and we're hiking up the mountains.
Yes.
It's not real mountains, it's real big hills.
Yeah, no.
But movement really supports the body with I liken it to you are preparing to run the Boston Marathon or the Detroit Free Press. That's what's actually happening when you're actually about to give birth. So how do athletes train?
Wow.
They train their bodies for that. So that's actually what we do over the course of the pregnancy. And then as a believer, I also support them with spiritual support. So I am one of those who is like a person on the wall that is praying heaven down. Like intercession is a real component to how I serve alongside families. So affirmations and emotional support and mental health and all of that is major. It's real because there's so much that's going on throughout the whole process. So that's kind of some of the like pre-stuff that I do alongside families. And then, of course, now they're in labor. Okay, we prepared for this. We're here. So let's lean into those deep breaths.
Yes.
Some of our mothers or grandmas, they might remember Lamaze. Yes, Lamaze. All the breathing techniques and all the things.
Get this baby out of me.
You're really supporting them with the breath.
Yes.
And then also ensuring that their voice is heard. Advocacy, I would say, is one of the greatest components of serving alongside them. Them really reclaiming their voice. Oftentimes, especially those that are Black families, they may be told like that they may or may not be able to do X, Y, and Z during their doctor's appointments, or now they're at the hospital and no, you can't have that, or no, you can't have medication. And unfortunately, some nurses actually learn this in school, that Black women have a higher tolerance of pain. That's actually in their textbooks.
Are
And
you
so
serious?
it's dispelling a
It's
lot
in
of
the
myths.
textbook.
It's in the textbook.
It's in the textbook that Black women have a higher
Threshold
tolerance of
Yeah,
pain.
yes.
So,
So
they deny us medication because they think we can take it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So let me pause
Advocacy.
right there. Let me pause right there because this is one of the reasons that I wanted to have this show tonight, because the thing that I've seen, and I've seen a couple of articles about it, but mainly what I've seen, the gist of what I've seen is that the infant mortality rate in Detroit, period, and amongst Black Americans, period, is very high right now. And it's even higher for Black women who are giving birth. So the mortality rates for babies are increasing, for Black babies, and for Black women, the mortality rate has increased in Detroit significantly, and across the world in terms of people of color, that those numbers are disparaging. And here, you can hear it, as she just said, it's in the textbook. It's in the nursing or medical textbook that African Americans supposed to have a higher tolerance for pain. And this is why doctors and nurses are denying us medication or pain medication or whatever kind of, medical aid in order for us to help assist in birth. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a colleague, I consider him a colleague now, but his name is Charles, and his wife went to a hospital, Cedars-Sinai in California. She gave birth, and after she had the baby, they had been communicating that there were complications that were happening, and this is how she's feeling, and they were not listening. No matter how many times it was raised, it kept getting elevated by her husband, and sadly, she ended up passing away. And there had been like multiple instances of communicating with the hospital staff. However, they would not listen, and they kept pushing things out. And yes, we're going to come in and do X, Y, and Z. And ultimately, at the end of the day, her life was lost over not providing the standard of care that was necessary. And so he actually is a huge advocate as it relates to this work and Black maternal mortality.
So I noticed you've been doing some speaking engagements, and you've traveled across the country talking about what you do and talking about the reasons behind this particular statistic that we're seeing with infant mortality and maternal mortality. What do you think is the reason behind this? I mean, obviously there's erroneous information in textbooks, but what else do you see, just from your work and your experience, what do you see is the underlying current of what's going on?
Yeah. So I do a lot of public speaking about it. I'm one of those I'm just gonna tell it like it is.
Yes, I know that about you.
Racism as the root cause. Sometimes folks really get it twisted, but it's racism at the very foundation of our institutions. The hospital system was just never built or created with us as Black folks in mind. And so for Black women, unfortunately, what the statistics show is that it's actually Black educated high socioeconomic status women who have the greatest disparity as it relates to Black maternal mortality and morbidity. So it's not just about us not having access. It has everything to do with just racism at the very systemic level.
That is so interesting. That it's not about how much money you make, because you would think that if you had access to the best doctors, the best, the best OBGYN, the best care, the best hospital or whatnot, that it would be some difference there. But what you're saying is that's not the case.
It's not the case.
They just automatically think that we can take the pain.
That we can take the pain, or that we don't know our own bodies. Maybe we don't know what's truly happening. There is this hidden creature that sneaks up on Black women that is called high blood pressure or preeclampsia. And what preeclampsia can do is they call it the silent killer. And what it can do is happen unexpectedly. However, there are certain things that can be early warning signs. And that number one thing is stress.
Yeah.
What is the greatest factor for us as Black women? It's stress.
It's stressful.
And so there's so many, especially highly educated, higher economic status Black women who are incredibly stressed.
The more we take on, the more stress we have.
And it's not just like our environmental stresses, it's also like stressors from what it is that Black women face, generally speaking, even all the way down to like going to doctor's appointments and that white coat syndrome. And so perhaps for there to really be that level of heightened awareness, what we need is like folks who are actually up in our business and supporting us. And that's what doulas really do. Here in America, we're the only place where you give birth to a baby and that baby comes in for their first doctor's appointment at 3 days of age, but that mom doesn't get seen unless she had a C-section for 6 weeks.
Are you serious?
Not one appointment.
Is that by design?
That's their process.
Or is that's their process? So the process is the mother is not seen for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That is the standard, no matter who you are.
Unless you had like a C-section is major surgery.
Right.
So there's a sooner appointment for that. However, as it relates to a normal physiologic birth,
wow,
you are having your first appointment with your provider at 6 weeks.
Wow.
And it's really unfortunate because so many things can happen before 6
Yes.
weeks.
Women get pregnant again within those 6 weeks. No, I'm serious.
That was me.
That was you. No, I know this because I know a lot of women who got, that's how they have those stair-step babies. Those kids are, 10, 12 months apart. Wow.
Yeah,
okay, now I didn't even know that.
Even my sister for 10 plus years, you never do that.
Oh my God.
Yes, we have them Irish twin babies. Our families were like, y'all got pregnant again? We were at, it was our daughter, Nevaeh. It was her baby dedication at the church. And we took everyone out for Chinese food at that real yummy Chinese food in Southfield off of Southfield Road and 10 Mile. And the whole family's there at that big old table that they set up for us. And we announced that we were pregnant. And all you saw was forks hitting the plates. Click, 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 click. We married and grown. Mind your business.
This is true.
Yeah, but you're right. Like seriously, so many things can happen within 6 weeks, and unfortunately, a lot of things can also be missed during that window of time. So, as a doula, I will oftentimes provide blood pressure checks. As a lactation consultant, I also provide blood pressure checks because I'm likely seeing them shortly after they've given birth, and they might not have a doctor's appointment for a little while. And in most cases, a lot of those things can come up within usually their discharge date all the way until about 2 weeks later. It's such a critical window. And so I find it also life-giving, life-saving, that the work that doulas offer.
Gosh, I'm learning. I don't know about you, but I'm learning a lot just from having this conversation with you. I did not know, and I did not realize. I've never physically had a baby, so I did not realize that. But I remember taking my son to the doctor within the first week. I took him within the first week. Now he was looking at me crazy, like, really? You just gonna let them? Stick
Mama,
me?
no, Mama, no.
He didn't cry at all. He didn't cry at all, but he did look at me like, really? You're letting them stick me? But yeah, I remember that, and it just never dawned on me that women, after having a natural birth and all of that that comes out of you, all of that happens, that whole process, even your body going back. I mean, there is some elasticity to us, but my God, it doesn't happen, easily, just like the birth didn't happen easily. That's startling.
Wild fact. when a woman gets pregnant, not only is she growing a baby, but she is also growing an entire organ from jump. And so as she's growing this organ, she is Superwoman. This organ that she is growing is the placenta.
Yes.
And it did not exist before being pregnant.
Wow.
And as she grows this organ and now gives birth, and this organ is like literally like sustaining the baby's life. This is how they are eating. This is how they are receiving their oxygen. There's 3 different tunnels, if you will, inside of the cord that is attached to baby and to mom. And that is how they get oxygen. That's how they get nutrients, nutrition. And that's also how they are able to excrete, dispose what it is that they are taking in. All of that is inside of the cord, the umbilical cord.
Wow.
And that's what's attached to the placenta. Now, that baby is now born. And it's not over yet. They still have to deliver the placenta. And what happens once that baby's born, hormones are released and it tells the body, you just gave birth. You don't have a baby inside. And so the placenta detaches from that inner uterine wall. Literally, it comes off of something it's grown on from the very beginning. So now there's an entire open wound on that abdominal wall that has to heal. So we talk about snapback.
Oh my God.
And all these different factors that folks really lean into, like, you made it. You out here doing the thing. You're taking your baby out and, okay, yeah, you're ready to go to church, or all these different things. There's so much healing that needs to take place during that postpartum period. It's not over once you've given birth to the baby. You're now in the 4th trimester.
Wow.
That 4th trimester is postpartum, and your body needs to heal. If that open wound was on the outside of your body, everyone would be looking at you like you're crazy while you're in the mall.
I know you're right.
But that's what's happening on the inside, and the body really needs to heal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That I'm floored right now, Jen. I'm floored. Like I mean, I realize that I know that, women have a second birth in terms of delivering the placenta.
Mm-hmm.
I remember reading about that, learning about that in school. But when you're talking about it right now, it's a bit much. It's like, it's kind of overwhelming when you think about it. Like, there is a whole, that's why the old mothers used to be like, no, you stay home. Don't go anywhere. Don't do anything. You stay home with that baby. You stay home. I see Stacy said, I stayed home for 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
My husband Joe was talking about Serena Williams and the experience she had with not being able to get a doctor. She
literally had to walk up out of her hospital room and go down the hall to get help. And what if she had not done that?
Oh, she would not be here today. She needed a doula.
But she had her own big, strong voice. Thank God.
Yes. And probably because she's Serena Williams, somebody listened, but what about that mother who's, who no one listens to? Like you were just saying, your friend Charles, I believe you said his name was, nobody listened to them, him and his wife, nobody listened to them. And, and the result was she lost her life. That is just, I mean, I'm finding it's taking my words. It really is. And I'm tearing up. Like that is just, that's unbearable. I can't imagine going through that. And the doctor is supposed to help you, but they look at your skin color and believe what a book says. It's written by somebody who is probably not even still alive.
Exactly.
And written about somebody that they probably saw because they didn't experience it. It wasn't a woman who wrote that textbook. I promise you, it probably wasn't a woman who wrote it. It was a man who wrote it.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, let me take a breather real quick.
Deep breath. In through your nose.
If you have any questions for Jen, please feel free to put them in the chat, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat for Jen. Jen, what help us understand the difference between a home. I mean, other than you giving birth at home,
Yeah.
what are the advantages to having a home birth versus having a birth in the hospital?
Yeah. So, why do we go to the hospital? I guess is a general question. We
I'm
go to the
questioning it right
hospital.
now.
I mean, not even just in birth, in general, like going to the hospital is where we are supposed to get care because of illness of some sort or preventative health. Um, and the hospital is that space for like issues,
Yeah.
medical issues. Is a birth considered a medical issue? No. And so it is believed that unless there are like medical indications that are necessary for medical care in that kind of way, that birth really can be what we call a physiologic birth. And what that essentially means is just allowing the body to do what it's naturally going to do and trusting that process. And so folks who are in the hospital, when moms give birth in the hospital, they oftentimes are, I don't know, in this space where they can go up the ladder for interventions. And interventions may include a long list of things, including medications, epidural, Pitocin, which helps to like speed the birth along and cause the contractions to get really strong so you can have a baby sooner. And believe it or not, because God is so divine and supernatural in all his ways, a lot of the medications that they have given and created are synthetic to what our bodies actually do. So there's this hormone that's called oxytocin in our bodies that's
Yes.
released and makes us happy.
Yes.
It can also cause contractions. They've synthesized that and it's called Pitocin. And so Pitocin, similar to oxytocin, but not the same, it can cause things to be really strong, really intense. And so then once you get that, then moms are like, oh, I can't take this. And so medication is sometimes needed for coping. And those medications go down a long list of things, but they usually land on an epidural. And there's just so many different things. But folks don't know that epidurals have fentanyl inside of the epidural. And those things can slow down the baby's heart rate and just all the different things. Oftentimes, moms don't know these things. They just are offered it and like, yeah.
They
and
just don't
no
want the
fault
pain.
to moms at all. I
Right.
got an epidural, but I also didn't know a lot of this information. Know better, do better.
Right.
And so it's really pushed on moms in the hospital in a different kind of way. And when you give birth at home, you don't have access to any of those things. You also don't have folks that are pushing those things on
Right.
you. And
Because, excuse me for interrupting, but if they give you something to help the contractions to move the birth along, and then you can't take the pain, then they can give you something for the pain. And that's the whole point. It sounds like a,
domino effect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they want that so that they can charge you for it, so the insurance is going to pay for it.
You ready for this?
Oh, gosh.
All of that. And in most cases, they lead to C-sections. And a C-section is very expensive.
Yes.
Yeah. So ultimately, the goal is a healthy mom and a healthy baby.
Absolutely.
As well as a positive birth experience. So for moms who are like, I absolutely want all the drugs, if that is what is going to make you happy, if that is what is going to assist you in having a positive birth experience, I'm here for it. My only hope is that moms have informed decision making, that they are able to make decisions for themselves and not just be told what it is that they have to do. It seems like we have a question.
Yes, I'm sorry. Might have already been asked, but can you learn doula in school?
Great question. Yeah. So it does not require for us to attend any sort of training to consider yourself a doula. I'm one of those like rebels, I guess you will say. This is something we've been doing for a millennia, especially Black folks. So as it relates to us supporting and sisterhood, other moms, that's just what we do. It's innate to us. It's a part of our culture. So helping other moms is not, we don't have to go and receive training. Now, we can help moms better and we can get more like training and ideas, different techniques, and grow our skills. I'm all for growing skills. And so there are trainings that you can take. And those trainings, they are widely diverse. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
And so depending on what it is that you are looking for, there's a training for it. There are trainings that are like a couple of days long. There's things that are online. You got options. So it doesn't take going back to school to become a doula at all. It just, I would recommend some form of training to add to your tool, to add skills to your tool belt. So you have lots of ideas and ways that you can support moms.
There's a certification.
So some trainings do include certification. I'm not a big fan of certification because it's all about money.
Yeah.
And you got to keep up with those certifications. And for why? Like, you're going to take it away from me if I don't pay you $175 every year?
Wow.
So I'm not certified, and I've been serving as a doula for a very long time. No shade to people who are certified, but it's not required.
Yes. Okay. So what advice do you have for new moms? I think I saw that question.
Yeah.
What is the recommendation for a new mom knowing all that you know about how the system works? So yeah, you find out you're pregnant. What should you do? You're a new mother.
Get you a doula. But no, seriously, really surrounding yourself with other people, other moms, talking with your own family about their experiences. Like, start taking in experiences and information. Build your village. Like, really build your and grow your community. Talk with your partner about all the things. Like, you're not in this alone. And if for some reason you need to like build a support network, like really getting some resources from different people that can connect you with other folks. And then from there, building your team. Your team can comprise several different people. Your team can be the doula, your team can be the OB, the team can be the midwife, can be the lactation consultant, the childbirth educator, a therapist. The list goes on and on and on. But generally speaking, if folks don't even know where to start, if you get a doula, there are community-based doulas that you don't necessarily have to pay out of pocket at all.
That's
Your insurance could perhaps cover that.
So you're saying insurance covers a doula now?
So complicated, but yes. Something that is a newer thing here in Michigan.
Okay.
And most health plans will cover a doula, a community-based doula.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that is accessible to you. My recommendation would be to contact your health plan, and they should provide you with a list of doulas that may be accessible to you. And if you know someone that's a doula and you really want them, ask them, do you take insurance if you have insurance? That's inclusive of Medicaid. That's inclusive of other health plans that are up under Medicaid, as well as private insurance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then there are also private pay doulas, which is how I serve. I stay really busy without accepting insurance. Like, I'm already booked out till May.
Wow.
Most folks hire me like when they first find out that they're pregnant. And so I just haven't had the capacity to accept insurance as of right now. But it's also, I would recommend, like, if you know someone who's a doula, most doulas, how I even serve, like, it's about making it accessible for families. So I have what my fee is, but I also will offer a payment plan or a sliding scale. And my sliding scale is, you tell me how much you can afford and that's what you pay. I don't need to know your business. I trust you. And that's the beauty of like real sisterhood.
Is it about a connection for you, or is it just about helping that person? Do you know what I mean when I say that? Like, do you turn down people because of you don't feel like you're the right fit? Is that something that people need to think about when they're selecting a doula? Should they think about, is this person going to match my, I don't know, my energy or, my village?
I love so much that you asked that question.
Yes.
I do believe that you should be a good fit for one another, because you have to cultivate trust and sisterhood and safety. Like, what would it look like for you to hire a doula and you don't even like vibe with them?
Mhm.
You don't trust them. This is a very intimate space.
Yes, it
Your
is.
doula's all going to be all up in your mix.
Literally. All up in your mix.
And so really like having a really good relationship with them is necessary. And that's actually why it takes the whole pregnancy to really
Yes.
learn like all of the things. So for that mom, like that's why. And then for the doula, you also need to really trust that mom. And I'm just going to say it. I have a lot of folks who will reach out to me and other colleagues who are Christian when it comes to doulas. Because, and they get real happy, like so excited. I've had a few moms literally during their interview that will cry, like, I can't believe I found you. I'm like, oh, I'm glad that we found each other too, but why are you crying? And it's because they had not found a doula or didn't even know that doulas existed that were believers. I like to frame it as into the woo-woo, but beyond into the woo-woo, like just not some new ageism kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's not how I function at all. And I'm very forward even in my interview with
Yes.
families. Like, this is who I am. I'm a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna pray for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we're not a good fit for one another, we're not a good fit for one another. But I'm also not gonna lie to you. And I really struggled with that at the beginning of my business. As I started it, my business like was real vanilla in terms of like my honesty, like gray.
Yeah.
You couldn't really tell if I was a believer or not. And my rationale was, I don't want anyone to like feel like they don't want me then. And what I learned, Holy Spirit released to me, or I had a whole revelation that that was scarcity mindset, because I didn't want to turn away money either. And he was like, I will provide every bit of increase for you, but you need to make it known. How
courageous for you to admit that, you know, because a lot of people, you know, my husband talks about this sometimes, you know, there's people out there just for a money grab, you know, and you have to be leery of those people. You have to be aware, you have to discern.
Very much so.
You know, and so you came to the revelation through the Holy Spirit that, you know,
about that.
They got to know who I am, period. Point blank.
So that's now in like my contract agreement. That's on social media. That's on the website.
Yes.
Like, this is just who I am. This is my identity. And that actually is what grew my business. And now there's other doulas that are a part of the business.
Wow.
It grew by heaps and bounds, just by like giving God the glory. And it's his work.
So since there is no certification for it, I think your husband put a question out there about that. What do you do, and what would you suggest other people do in terms of training and learning about this particular profession and how to keep up with the times?
Yeah. So a really good doula is going to take all the trainings all the time. Like whatever it is they find and can get access to, they gonna do it. That's me included. I can't tell you how many times I'm signing up for somebody's training because I want to learn how to better serve moms and grow my tool belt.
Is there a community that you're a part of that offers this type of training or something like that?
So the birthwork community in Detroit is, believe it or not, real small.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
I mean, not that we have few people. I just mean like it's connected.
Yes.
There's a deep sense of community within the birthwork space. So really, again, getting connected with others, and then that information and knowledge is shared. Finding a mentor, someone who's been doing this
I was about
work
to ask
for
you
a
that
minute.
too.
And so as you find a mentor, your mentor will hold you accountable to growing your skills. And it doesn't matter how long you've been in the work. I have mentors. I mentor a lot of people, and I also have mentors because we need accountability.
Yeah.
We should always be accountable to somebody. And also being open to like being a part of a community. Woe is the person that wants to be the only one in the room,
Yeah.
right? So being very comfortable with others who are in this work.
Gosh, Jen, this has been so good. I wish man, this has really, really been good. I know your website is www.feedthebabes.com, because I had put babies and I was like, this is not her website. This ain't it. It's Feed the Babes, www.feedthebabes.com. And that is where your information is. Thank you. And people can find who you are. They can find out what you do, obviously what services you provide and things of that nature. And find out more about becoming a doula. Do you know what would you say is the demand for doulas right now? And is this something that we should encourage other people to do, or should we encourage other people to become doulas? Is there such thing as a male doula?
Yeah, all the things. Absolutely. If you know someone who's pregnant, like, do you have a doula yet? Who's your doula? Being that sister in the room who's also helping them find a doula. I'm a huge advocate for, we shower moms with all the baby gifts. And like 17 million of the same baby gifts at that.
Yes, because you're going to need them.
Yes. What might it look like to shower moms with like all of the care that she actually needs? So oftentimes, one of the greater challenges is access and affording a doula or a lactation consultant or just all the different things. So I really love when moms will include on their baby registry that they have a doula and that money or something can go towards that. A postpartum doula. A postpartum doula is not the same as a birth doula. Postpartum doula is not quite the same as a nanny, but a postpartum doula supports the mom and the baby during that postpartum period. And they can come for 3 to 6 hours during the day, or they can come and stay overnight. And they're helping to take care of the baby and helping to take care of the mom. Yeah. And so providing like support at the baby shower for that postpartum doula, a lactation consultant. Breastfeeding can be really challenging.
Yes.
It does not have to be impossible. It should never be painful. If it ever hurts, that is our body's way of saying something's wrong. God created us so perfectly. And as he created us, the sense of pain is always our indicator that something's wrong in our body. So sometimes, unfortunately, people, especially nurses in the hospital, will sometimes tell moms,
like, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, just, you'll get used to it. I've heard some grandmas who have been like, but I don't even fault them. They were told this probably.
Were told.
You just get a washcloth, a dry washcloth, and you rub that on the nipple to toughen it up. I'm like, that sounds terrible.
Wow.
And so a lactation consultant is there for all of the clinical breastfeeding related issues. And it doesn't always take a lactation consultant, an IBCLC. However, you should have access to one. You should be able to get one if you need one and know where to find a good one, where to find one that represents you based upon your background or ethnicity. And so, again, your doula can connect you with all those people. I don't believe in like the yellow pages searching of folks. You want to go with somebody that knows
trust.
Somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Trusted resources always.
Yes. And so not only are you there to help, but you're also there to provide other resources for the things that they may need that are outside of your scope.
Yep, absolutely. So referrals to a therapist, a referral to doctors, pediatricians. Sometimes moms don't even know where to start when it comes to finding a pediatrician. In most cases, we have relationships with a lot of the providers in the community. I can't tell you how many doctors will call me for advice on their patients because they trust me. We've built relationships.
Wow.
I think the first time it happened, I almost cried. I was like, imposter syndrome. Like, why did they call me? I didn't go to medical school, but lived experience matters. And so why not me?
And your connection to their patient.
Yeah.
Yes. So understanding their patient and understanding what they may or may not need.
Absolutely.
And getting that getting that insight from you because you've spent so much time leading up to the birth. I could see that.
Yep.
Girl,
That sounds good.
oh
Get you
my
a doula and a
you
lactation
a
consultant
doula.
and all the things.
Get you a doula. This has just been wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. I know, hearts. Listen, I know that you out there have been listening, and it's been a pretty steady audience tonight. And I just think that you need to share this. You need to share this information with someone that you know. Share it with some young mother. Share it with someone that you know that has just discovered they are pregnant. Share it with other people that you know who may be, coming down the road, if they just got married, if they're a new bride and they're planning to have children, whatever the case may be. Share this information. There is so much information shared tonight from Jennifer that we need to know, that we need to share. And if you know anyone who you think might be interested in becoming a doula, also reach out, because she mentors and she knows other people who mentor as well. So I think that this has just been an excellent show. I think that we have enlightened people. I think we've inspired people, and definitely we've informed people, because I learned a lot tonight. And, just by reading an article, just being concerned about the infant mortality, the maternal mortality rate and morbidity, is just been something that pricked my heart. I never had a child naturally, but I've held babies, and I have my own son from the day he was born, so it just pricked my heart, and the Lord just, showered me with compassion for it. And I was like, I have to find somebody to talk about this. And of course, your beautiful face just came to mind.
I love you.
I love you too. I love you more. And so thank you so much for being here. And I think we want to have you back definitely to talk about this some more, as time goes by, and understanding what you do and how important it is. This is really, really important. Go to the website and check it out. There's some videos there from the Cole life. Yes, the Coles.
They just had another baby.
I know, right? But their video, their vlog is on your website, and
of their home birth.
Yes, of the first home birth that they had, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful to watch and to hear their journey with their birth, with their home birth. So thank you so much for joining us. We are going out on Derek Mylan and the crew again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And we're going to go out on I've Been Through Too Much Already. Why? Because they done put this in a textbook that we can stand more pain than anybody else. I'm still stuck right there. But anyway, it's in the textbook. That is so wrong. Listen, we've been through too much already, okay? And I just want to say thank you tonight. Thank you for everyone joining. It's been a wonderful conversation. Please share this broadcast with someone you know, okay? We love you. Thank you, Jen. Good night, everybody.
But I did just what Soulful inspiration.
We're so glad you hung out with us today. We're here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on WVTC Detroit. If you'd like to partner with us or sponsor a show with your business, send us an email at tntsoulllc@gmail.com, or you can call us at 313-570-8280. I'm your girl,
Nikki Jones.
The views and opinions expressed on the previous broadcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WVTC Radio Detroit, its advertisers, or affiliates.
Congratulations to WVTC Gospel Radio, as they are again the recipients of the 2023 Stellar Award for Best Internet Radio Station of the Year. Many thanks to our viewers. Keep watching as we are winning victories through Christ. Hey, are you in need of a jingle, a commercial, or have you considered a podcast for your business or ministry? If so, let WVTC Radio Detroit be your choice. And guess what? Location is not a problem. We can pick you up and broadcast you from anywhere. For more information, please go to our website at WVTCDetroit.com or drop us an email at WVTCRadioDetroit@gmail.com. We're waiting to hear from you.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.